Facts about Metallica that only superfans will know. Metallica is, arguably, the biggest rock band in the world. They have dominated the world's biggest stages and silver screens. Still, there are some facts that casual fans don't know. In this article, we will run down 10 facts that probably didn't know about Metallica. I know there are a lot of Metallica superfans here at UGG, so perhaps you know all of these facts already. Metallica has the distinction of being the only band to date to play on all 7 continents in the same year, 2007. I recently asked longtime guitar tech, Chad Zemisch, about the gig in Antarctica. Antarctica was a very interesting trip. I was and still am not cut out for life at sea, so I spent several days clinging to my bed on our ship as we crossed really rough waters to get to the continent. There were a lot of technical and logistical challenges with that one, but I only have fond memories of that part of the planet. I feel very fortunate to have been a part of that. It's not every day you pass by whales in an inflatable raft to get to work. We were solar powered and we were not allowed to make the kind of racket we're used to with speakers. We kept the disturbance to the environment to an absolute minimum, including noise pollution. As it turns out, the penguins are not too keen on the metal. Metallica wasn't the first band to try to play on every continent. Fall Out Boy attempted it in 2008, but bad weather and bad planning ruined the endeavor. In 2012, Jason Mraz spent a week in Antarctica with a group of 148 environmentalists, scientists and researchers on a mission led by Al Gore to learn about the effects of climate change. According to sources, Mraz did perform an impromptu gig for the scientists. Jason Mraz has also played a show on every continent. He actually played Antarctica before he played Russia. Metallica was not the first band to play Antarctica. 2 bands played there prior to Metallica. A Chilean band, Los Jaivas, played a show there in 1981. In 2007, a 4-piece indie rock band called Nunatak, which was the house band for the British Antarctic Surveys, BAS, Rothera research station. They played for a capacity crowd of 7 people. It was streamed live for the Earth Live benefit concert. James Hetfield is an avid beekeeper and has been for years. He discusses his hobby on Joe Rogan's podcast. Steve Vai also is an avid beekeeper. When I interviewed Vai last year, I asked him if he had ever talked to Hetfield about beekeeping and he hadn't. Hopefully they have touched base since then. Official members. Metallica had 8 official members throughout the 30 years of being a band: James, Lars, Dave, Robert, Kirk, Ron, Cliff, Jason. Producer, Bob Rock was never an official member but does have co-writing credits with the band. Classic. James Hetfield has an incredible custom classic car collection. 1952 Oldsmobile Super 88, a couple beautiful 1937 Fords, a 1961 Lincoln Continental, a 1936 Auburn Speedster, a 1956 Ford F100, a 1953 Buick Skylark, an old Model T Rat Rod, a 1934 Packard, and the Good Guys Custom Car of the Year winner, a 1948 Jaguar he calls Black Pearl. He collaborated with famed car designer Rick Doré on many of the builds, including the Black Pearl. A sentimental axe. James Hetfield had a guitar made from the wood salvaged from the garage that used to serve as Metallica's rehearsal space. It was in that garage that the band wrote many songs in their early years. Ken Lawrence created the guitar and it remains in Hetfield's collection. I wrote an article on that guitar and you can. Strings. The guy who provided the orchestral arrangements on Unforgiven 3 on Death Magnetic was David Campbell. I can guarantee you have heard his arrangements before. He has put string arrangements on countless iconic albums since the late 70s. He has worked on over 450 gold and platinum albums including the Rolling Stones, Adele, Michael Jackson, Linkin Park, Ghost, Garth Brooks, U2, Kiss, Bob Dylan, Green Day, Backstreet Boys, Neil Diamond, Beyoncé, Miley Cyrus, Bon Jovi. The list goes on. He also worked on films such as Days of Thunder, Gone in 60 Seconds, Big Daddy, World War Z, Wayne's World, Coyote Ugly, Pearl Harbor, and the documentary film Free Solo. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as his son is an 8-time Grammy winner, Beck Satriani, a metal Yoda. Gary Holt, Axeman for Slayer and Exodus, learned to play guitar from former Exodus guitarist, Kirk Hammett. In turn, Kirk Hammett took guitar lessons from Joe Satriani after Metallica recorded Kill 'Em All in 1983. Other famous students of Satriani include Steve Vai, Larry Lalonde, Alex Skolnick, and David Bryson. Load. Remember the cover art for Load? That was a piece of art created by Andres Serrano titled Semen and Blood. Any guesses on what was used to create it? Yup, pig's blood and a load of the artist's own semen. Writing cred. On the band's latest release, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, Robert Trujillo received 1 co-writing credit and Kirk Hammett received none. James Hetfield has writing or co-writing credit for every single Metallica song ever written, except for one. Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth, which was written solely by Cliff Burton. Lars Ulrich is credited on all Metallica songs except for 2, the aforementioned, Pulling Teeth, and Motor Breath, which was written solely by James Hetfield. Both of those songs are from Kill 'Em All. In 2012, the band started Blackened Records and bought the rights to all of their previous songs and have reissued them through their own label. A very smart move if you're able to afford the initial cost. They are now their own record label and are able to keep a much larger share of their earnings, not only from album sales but from publishing and ownership of their brand, which includes all merch. Charity. Aside from being one of the biggest bands in the world, they are also one of the most charitable. They started their own charity in 2017 called All Within My Hands, which doles out millions every year to worthy causes. As recently as May 2021, they donated $1.6 million to community colleges. Dear viewers, do not forget to subscribe, like and comment for the development of our channel. Stay with love.